Yes, sir. We are live. Hold on. Let me double check. Make sure everything's copacetic. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Getting ourselves all set up here. Hold on. Audio check. Yes, we are live. We can hear it. Very good. Ooh, let me just clean these glasses real quick. Ooh, ish. Because sometimes, I accidentally smudged my fingerprints on them. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Yes, sir. All right. Give me a second here. 1 second. 1 second. Boom. Okay. There we go. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Woo! How you doing? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Hope you guys are making lots and lots of money. Yes, sir. Hope you guys are doing great today. Hold on. I'm just fixing up my glasses. Yeesh. All right. Oh, that's better. Okay. All right. Good, good. As I said, hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing good. We're just getting everything set up here. We're just sharing everything right now. Give me just a sec. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. All right. Boom right there. Okay. But yeah, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Give me just a second. Bop right there. Right. Bop right there. Get this set up. Okay. And this right here. Boom. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's get this thing shared now. Because the stream is live. Yes. Very good. Boom. Boom. Right here. Okay. This right here, bop, right there. All right. Boom. Boom. There we go. Okay. Good. And good. All right. Everything's all set up and ready to go. So let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nix, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nix in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes regular. Other times she likes to jet ski. Sometimes she likes to regular ski. Sometimes she likes to get shot out the cannon and she goes wee. Other times she likes to steal my lo mein, maybe go to RB's, find some videos of puppies and kitties. And of course, there are times where she likes to steal my food, which is normally Chinese. And other times where we throw in the stock market, she finds them A, B, C, D's. And then there's other times where she will call wonderful stocks like MRM, WAI, and BLMZ. We call her DB Moms. Yeesh. All right. All right. Say hello to the people, DB Moms.
Hello to the people, DB Moms.
All right, smart Alec. All right, there. She getting a little clever with me, eh? You're a funny guy, eh? Don't even worry about it. I got something for you. All right. That's enough tomfoolery. All right. So, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, folks. And the early bird gets the cash. We actually called quite a few stonks today, so be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. Again, be sure to check it out. So, you can also find us, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, on our YouTube account, if you're not on our YouTube already, at Coaching Money, where we do lots of videos and live streams. You can find us on our x.com, aka Twitter, where we do lots of live streams and stock reviews and stock analysis as well, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our Twitch account, where we do lots of live streaming, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. And you can find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads accounts, all of which are at Coaching Money. And you can find us on our TikTok, Tiki-Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find all sorts of shorts and other funnies there at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, yes. So that's what we got going on so far. So let's take a look at some of the stonks we called, the runners that we called, the baggers that we called today. Yeesh. So we called MRM. Actually called that for our private Discord, MRM. We called that for our private Discord last night. Then we made a video on it last night, and it actually ran up to a high of 346 since we called it. 346%. 346%. So we got that going on for MRM. We also called another stonk, WAI. Actually did a video on that one today. We called it pre-market for our private Discord community. And WAI actually ran up a nice total of 159%. And we actually did a video on it as well this morning. We called it for our private Discord earlier this morning, pre-market, and of course, the video came out shortly afterwards. So yeah, and then it ran up a total of 159%. 159%. There we go. And then of course, we called a couple of runners as well. We called BLMZ. All right. That one ran up a nice high of 43%. 43% right there. Yeah, 43%. All right. We called another stock as well. We called AMBI, which ran up a total of 59%. 59%, ladies and gentlemen. So you got that going on right there. We called another stock as well. We called LEXX, which ran up a nice high of 32%. Ran up 32%. All right. Then we also called GPUS, which ran up a nice high of 43%. 43%. And I think we just got a new bagger, didn't we, DBL moms? We got BIAF, which we actually called earlier today for our pre-market Discord. I mean, we might for our private Discord. Let's actually get it over here because, hey, why not? Why not? Because I mean, we did call it. So we call BIAF. That is now a new bagger, 103%, ladies and gentlemen. So we got that going on right there. Got that going on right there. All right. So GPUS ran up a nice 43%. So you got that going on. All right. We got BIAF, new bagger, up 103%. Called it this morning for our private Discord. So again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. Yes, sir. All right. Now, continuing on, we called NUAI. We called that one as well. That one ran up a nice 35%. Right there, 35%. NUAI. Yeesh, 35%. Yeesh. So that's what we got going on so far. That is what we got going on so far. So let's take a look at BIAF, because BIAF just ran up a nice 103%. 103%. Bop right here. And BOP right here needs to remain friends with the uptrend here. It is above the VWAP now as the 9 EMA kind of starts trying to move towards the VWAP right now. It's moving upward, an upward trajectory to try to intersect with the VWAP, so we'll have to see what happens. Has to remain friends with the trend. BIAF had a nice 103% run. Needs to remain friends. Remain friends with the trend. Yesh. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 300 already. Let's get to 300. Yesh. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get some water in me, and then I will continue. And it looks like BIAF is starting to kind of turn itself around a little bit, so it could potentially be a bit of a descending wedge here. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens right now because it is a bit overbought in the RSI, so we'll see what goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, give me just a second. Just going to get some water in me. All right. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 300. Let's get to 300. Come on now. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get some support and resistance lines on this stunk right here. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over meow. Bop. And bop right there. All right. So we got support at the 549 mark. 607 and then $7 are both those two are actually resistance lines. We got support 549, needs to break 607, then needs to break $7 for it to be so much mexy to me. But otherwise, man, RSI is still a bit overbought, so we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. But right now, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 400. Let's get to 400. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, so currently BIAF has a descending wedge going on. Needs to break that descending wedge for it to be so much schmexy to me. All right. So that's what we got going on there. BIF needs to break the descending wedge. Yeesh. There we go. All right. So, got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. So, let's take a look at some other stonks right there. WAI. All right. WAI currently had a shot upward. Let me get the graffiti pencil activated. Bop. A little bit of a shot upward. Boom, right there. And then proceeded to create itself a pennant. It fell below the VWAP. Needs to break that pennant and climb above that VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. Yeesh. But let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on because that's not the end of the story over here. We got on bop support line over here, resistance over here. So you got that going on right there. All right. All right. So you got support right now at the 446 mark. Needs to break 547. And needs to break 618, 689, 776, and 918 for it to be so much mexy to mya. Also has to break through the VWAP at 637 for it to be so much mexy to mya. But right now it's below the VWAP. The 9 EMA is not moving towards the VWAP, but instead moving away from it. It is becoming a bit more oversold. It's leaning a bit more towards being oversold as of now. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500 people. Let's get to 500 people. But yes, so far, WAI is leaning towards becoming oversold. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's see what we got over here. So WAI needs to break that pennant, ladies and gentlemen. WAI needs to break the pennant. Yeesh. It needs to break that pennant, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that share party going. Let's get the share party going. Let's get to 500 people. Let's get to 500. Come on now. All right. So WAI's got that going on. Let's take a look at BLMZ. BLMZ. All right. So BLMZ did have a bit of an uptrend going on here. It had a bit of an uptrend going on. Ryan Cooking Caleb says, "Good morning, my people. Good morning." Yes. Honestly, Ryan's good morning kind of reminded me of ever seen that movie Coming to America? Good morning, my neighbors.
Oh, is that what it looks like?
I love it.
Good morning, my people. Okay.
Yeah, I like it, man. How you doing, Ryan? I hope you're having a great day, man. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're making a lot of money, brother, man.
Make money.
Make money. Yes, sir. How you doing, Ryan? Hope you're having a great day, man. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so we got. Let's get this pencil over here. Boom. A to B, B to C, C to D. All right. And then you got a little bit of a descending wedge right there. Curled off that descending wedge. Bop right there. Yeesh. And then you got that going on right there. Yeesh. But it reminds me of that. It does remind me of that. I mean, granted, minus the, you know. Yeah, it does have that joy in there. Uh, minus the whole, line that comes afterwards.
Yeah, minus all that.
No, we actually like that you're here. We actually like that you're here. We're the former New Yorkers who are actually nice. Yes, we try. Yes, Ryan says, "LOL." Yes, exactly, man. All right, so BLMZ currently has an ABCD and then a descending wedge going on right over here. Curled up off that descending wedge, created an even bigger one because it did have a lot of consolidation. A lot of consolidation going on over here and move it down a little bit. It's slightly curling off of that descending wedge, but it has to break the VWAP. Needs some volume to seriously break that VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. So BLMZ curling off the descending wedge needs to break the VWAP. Ryan says LOL. Yeah, man. Yeah, no. It just reminded me of that scene for some reason. It reminded me of that scene. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. Let's get to 600. But yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeesh. We got that going on right there. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Like, yeah, that movie was wonderful. That movie was wonderful. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting something fixed up here. Ah, there we go. There we are. That scene was amazing.
He answers in kind, but so joyfully.
No. Eddie Murphy was funny, man. I mean, he's still funny. He's still very funny. All right. 1 second. Here we go. Yes, he is very funny still to this day. Like even like a pre-Disney, post-Disney, Eddie Murphy is still funny. And he made a sequel to that movie, which was amazing. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still pretty good. Anyways. Except for Top Gun.
Except for that.
Yeah, exactly. Top Gun Maverick was like a worthy successor. All right. So, all right. Going off of a tangent. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. 600. Come on now. Yeesh. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we got? Let's see here. MRM. Let's take a look at MRM. MRM. Let's see. Bless you, DVO moms. Don't die. That's not healthy. She caught a bit of a cold. She got a cold. Yes. Yeah, it happens. I get it. It's not even winter yet. I know, it doesn't have to be. She just gets colds. That's fair. That's fair. Yep, so it has MRM has a bit of an ABCD going on here. A little bit of an ABCD. Bop right here. Bop right there. Has a bit of a descending wedge going on right there. Boom. And then had another small A to B, B to C, C to D. And then basically another descending wedge right over Mya. Let me actually get rid of this. There we go. So another descending wedge right over Mya. That's what we got going on for this stock. Has to break above the VWAP and has to break that descending wedge as well for it to be so much mexi to Mya. So MRM needs to break the VWAP for it to be so much mexi to Mya. Can it curl? Because it's not exactly too far off the VWAP. Actually, it is. It's about 40. 47 cents off the VWAP, so we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens, but MRM needs to break that descending wedge in order for it to be so much Mexi Tumya. Let me get some support and resistance lines over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines. Bop right over here. Bop right over there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you got any stonks you want to request us to do, let me know by putting it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in the chat. All right, we got support for this stonk at 413. 496 is the resistance over here. Has to break 496, then 579, 682, and then 848 for it to be so much Maxi Tumya. So, ladies and gentlemen, MRM needs to break the descending wedge. Yeesh. So that's what it needs to do. MRM. All right, let's see what else we got. Someone asked for GRRR. Let's see about GRRR. All right. Grr. All right, GRRR doesn't look like it has much in the volume department. However, it is pretty popular. It is a little popular. It is a bit overbought on the RSI as well, but it has been a little bit popular. Has been a little bit popular amongst the masses these days. So it has been a little popular. It did have an ABCD going on over here, but after that, it kind of dropped out in terms of volume. Became a bunch of indecisive wicks over here, a lot of indecisive wicks, and then eventually it just started shooting up, and then eventually kind of moving back down a little bit. So it did have another A to B, B to C, C to D, all the way up to here, and then kind of just made itself another descending wedge over here. So really needs some volume, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it really needs. GRR needs some volume for it to be somewhat schmexy tumya, but GRR needs volume. And yeah, and to break the descending wedge to become somewhat schmexy tumya. All right. So that's what they got going on for. That's what they got going on. DBO Moms, actually, can you help me find the news right there for GRRR? Yeah, no, you good. You're good. GRRR. What's the news for? Let me see. Let me pull that over for me. Pull it. Faster. Double time.
Just wait. Okay,
GRRR, Gorilla Technology Group, Inc. Secures Gorilla.
Like the glue.
Yes.
Like
Gorilla.
one of my favorite animals.
Yes. Gorilla Technology secures 1.4 billion. It's cut off. It's cut off. Lift it off the. Take your mouse off the thing. Mouse off the thing. Put the mouse. Your hands off the mouse.
It's there. It's all there.
All right. Gorilla Technology secures $1.4 billion contract for AI data centers in Southeast Asia. So we got that going on right there.
That's it.
That came out this morning. So it did secure a $1.4 billion with a B dollar contract for AI data centers in Southeast Asia. Let's take a look at the floating volume for it. Floating the volume. The floating the volume. The floating the volume.
Little difficulty here.
No, not that.
This is where it should be showing this to be.
No. Scroll down. No, not that. Scroll down the other way. The other way. There. Ah! Ah!
Okay, wait.
All right. So let's see what we got going on. Float for the stock is a little heavy at 22 million. 22 million. Volume, however, is 90,000. So the volume, it needs some serious volume. GRRR needs some serious volume for it to be so much Mexi Tumya. Yes. So GRRR needs volume. Yes. It is above the VWAP. It is above the VWAP. I will give it that, but it needs volume. And it is a bit overbought on the RSI as well, so we'll see what goes down there. But we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. MRM. Let's take a look at MRM. Still needs to break that descending wedge over there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 800. Let's get to 800. Come on now. Yes, MRM. MRM needs to break the descending wedge and VWAPA. Yes, the VWAPA. Yes, the VWAPA. Good. All right. BIAF. Let's see how that's doing because that stock ran up 159%. Let's see how they're doing. Needs to break that descending wedge still. and needs to break that VWAP. Right now, it's consolidated below the VWAP, needs to break the descending wedge, though. So we got that going on right there. BIF consolidated below the VWAP, needs to break the descending wedge. Yes. Yes. Currently, oh, it is testing the VWAP now. BIAF testing the VWAP. Broke through the VWAP. Congratulations, BIAF. Now it's testing the resistance. BIAF testing the resistance now. How high is BIAF now? Let me see.
74%.
74%. Okay, okay. Trying to curl a little bit of curlage, maybe. BIAF broke VWAP and is testing the resistance. Yeesh. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Let's get that share party going. Let's get to 800. Let's get to 800, ladies and gentlemen. And we shall see what happens with you. I got my eye on you, BIAF. Got my eye on you. Let's see what we got with CJET. CJET. All right, CJET just broke above the VWAP just now. Let's get a support and resistance line going on over here. But first things first, let's get the graffiti pencil activated. Bop, bop, bop. Formed the pennant. CJET formed a bit of a pennant, curling off that pennant. Just broke the VWAP right now. Needs to remain friends with the trend. Was a bit overbought on the RSI, but now it's not overbought or oversold on the RSI. So CJET just broke through the CJET. Just broke through the VWAP. Curled off the pennant. Yeesh. There we go. So CJ is currently doing his thing right there, forming a bit of a double top. We don't like the double tops, DBL moms. We like the double bottoms. We like the double bottoms. But more importantly, what do we like than that?
Bottom tail.
We like the bottom tail.
And double bottoms.
Double bottoms. We like double bottoms.
But one bottom if you can have a double.
Yeah, it's a double bottom. So has to break through that little 22-cent mark over there. Currently trying to fight its way to stay above VWAP right now. So we'll see what happens with the stunk. We shall see what happens. But it did break through the VWAP, so I will give it credit there. And now it has to break through it once again. So, we got that going on right there. All right. So the stunk currently is falling now. It went up and then went back down. Aw. NUAI. So it had that going on. NUAI currently consolidating along the VWAP. Again, another bit of lots of double toppage going on here. You got double top over here. Got a double top over there. Oh, hold on. Got another double top over there. Bop. You got a series of toppages going on here. Another one over here. I mean, there's a lot of double topping. Very choppy for NUAI as of now. Very choppy. All right. Little bit of a choppage over here. And another bit of choppage over. Yeah. So this stunk is currently very, very choppy. Very choppy. So we'll see what happens with the stunk. We shall see what happens with the stunk. NUAI needs to... It's kind of consolidating along the VWAP as of now. It is consolidating along the VWAP. So, NUAI consolidating along the VWAP. It's kind of trying to fight its way above it, but it's having some trouble there. Let's get some support resistance lines over there. Let's get some support resistance. Bop over here. Bop over here. There we go. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Let's see over here. NUAI. NUAI needs to break the VWAP. Yes, it's kind of just consolidating along there. So NUAI needs to break the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to meh. But otherwise, we'll see what goes on with this stunk. We shall see what goes on with it. In the meantime, let's check out GUTS. GUTS. Let's see here. Bop right there. Was a little consolidated below the VWAP. Had a shot upward over MIA. Right Hold on. Over. Yeah. Bop right there. Bop. And bop right there. Had a bit of a descent. Had a bit of a pennant over here. Broke downward a little bit. Broke a bit downward over here. Then started curling off a bit. Started curling its way on up. Bop right there. And broke through the VWAP. And as the 90MA and the VWAP kind of intersected there. So has to remain friends with the trend. GUTS needs to had a nice curl. Needs to remain friends with the trend here. So GUTS had a nice curl. Needs to remain friends with the trend. Yesh. So we got that going on. That's what we got going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. Is currently broken above the VWAP as well. So I'm going to put that as well. GUTS. Guts broke the VWAP. Anyone actually ever heard of the character Guts? That's what this makes me think of. It makes me think of the character Guts. Very, very violent anime show. Would not recommend watching it for little kids, but it is a very good show. Okay. It's one of those shows like, oh my god, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is a really good story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1100. Let's get to 1100. Come on now. Come on now. The guy's name is Guts, so you kind of get an idea. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. CRNX. Someone asked for CRNX. Ooh, very heavy in terms of price, but we'll take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. CRNX, heavy in terms of the price, very heavy in terms of the price, but it is above the VWAP. The 9 EMA did intersect the VWAP, break through it though. It is not overbought or oversold. However, it is leaning towards being overbought. At one point, it was overbought, so it had that going on right there. Looks like it needs some serious volume, though, as well, because right here, bop, you got that going on. It's got a bit of a pennant going on here. And then afterwards, you kind of got a shot upward over here. Kind of needs to remain friends with the trend, but it is trying. It is kind of breaking below it a little bit, just a little bit. Right now, it looks to be slightly not halted, but it looks to be kind of just stuck there. So we'll see what happens with the stunk. We shall see what happens. But right now, it did curl off the pennant. It broke above the VWAP and is currently on an uptrend. Needs to remain friends with the trend, and that's pretty much what we got going on. Ryan says, "Have a great day. I'm off to work." Have a great day, Ryan. Have a wonderful day at work. Make a lot of money, buddy. Make money, make money, make money, make money. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200. 1200. Let's get to 1200. All right, let's make sure everything's. Hold on. Let's make sure everything's copacetic on the stream first. 1 second. 1 second. Bop. Right over. Meow. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just make sure everything's copacetic here. Bop. All right. We're good. Are we good over here? Yes, we are. All right. We good over here? Yes, we are. Okay. Cool, cool. Just want to make sure. All right. So CRNX currently on an uptrend here. CRNX very heavy in terms of price, a little expensive, which is fine. It is what it is. Curling off the pennant, broke the VWAP. Broke the VWAP. Yesh. So it has that going on right there. And CRNX also needs to remain friends with the trend. Yeesh. So we'll see what happens there. CRNX needs to remain friends with the trend. That's what it needs to do right there. Another stock that has been called, DFLI. Let's take a look at DFLI. DFLI. Let's see what we got going on there for DFLI. All right, so DFLI currently consolidating along the VWAP right now a little bit. Let's see what goes on here, but let me get this over here. Bop, right there. Bop, right there. And bop, right there. So DFLI needs to break through that VWAP. It's kind of trying to fight its way above it. So DFLI is consolidating along the VWAP. Consolidating along the VWAP. Can it break through? Because it's kind of breaking through, and then it's like kind of going back down, and it's breaking through again. It's kind of just consolidated along it. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens with this stonk. But right now, let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Had a bit of a double bottom over here as well. Had a bit of a double bottom and a bit of a double top. So we'll see what happens here. Had a bit of a double top right along this 49-cent mark over here. Had two little double tops over here as well, but these are like these baby tiny ones over here at 45 cents. And then you had another one at around the, again, 45 cents right there. Bop. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Needs to break that pennant and needs to break through the descending. It needs to break through that VWAP as well. So DFLI needs to break the pennant as well. DFLI needs to break the pennant for it to be so much messy to me. There we go. All right. So that's what we got going on here. That's what we got going on. Let's get some support resistance lines over here. And let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1400. Let's get to 1400, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1400. All right. So let's take a look over here. We got support at 38 cents, 40 cents, 42 cents, and 44 cents. 44 cents is the primary support line over here. It needs to break through the VWAP and as well as this resistance line at 45 cents. Needs to break through 46 and then 49 for it to be so much mexi to me. But right now it is trying to fight its way above the VWAP and the resistance. So it is doing that right now. DFLI testing the VWAP and resistance. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got. That is what we got. Let's see what we got going on here as well. All right, let's take a look here. RIOT. Someone wanted us to look at RIOT. RIOT seems to be another popular stunk. Just intersected the VWAP, the 9 EMA, just intersected the VWAP, and now it looks like it's curling its way on up there. Curl. Yeesh. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. Yeesh. All right, so had a bit of a shot upward over here, made a bit of a descending wedge right over here, bop, then curled its way on up off that right there, and then kind of made another pennant right over right bop right there. All right, so needs to break that that little pennant right there. Needs to break the pennant right there, and has to break above the. It is already above the VWAP, so it's above the VWAP, but it needs to break through that pennant, right? That's really all it has to do. So RIOT needs to break the VWAP for it to be the pennant, not the VWAP, the pennant. For it to be so much mexi to mia. So that's what RIOT needs to do right there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1600. 1600. Let's get to 1600, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Give me just a second. Let me get some water in me. 1 second. Let me get some water in me. All right. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. All right. Yes. So RIOT needs to break that pennant for it to be so much mexi to me. So that's what we got going on right there. Let me get some support and resistance lines over here. Bop right there. Bop right there. All right, let's get the support line over here at 1640. It's got support at 1649, 1708, 1723, 1734, 1744, and then 1757. 1757 is the support line for the stonk right here. Has to break through 1778, which is the resistance. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Needs to break that pennant and then break through 1778. So we got that going on right there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1700. 1700. 1700. Let's get to 1700 right there.
Let's get 5,000.
Ooh.
5,000. We're going to up the ante.
Up the ante.
Yes, sir.
Oh my. Yeesh.
Let's go.
Yeesh. Yeesh. All right. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see what happens. But RIOT did move up. It needs to break that pennant for it to be so much maxi to me. Yeah, it has to break that 1778 mark as well. So let's see what else we got. What else we got here? Let's go. Let's go back to MRM. See how they're doing right now. MRM slight curl, little tiny curl off this descending wedge, a tiny one. It's a little baby curl, MRM did have a nice run up 346. We did the video on it last night prior to the run, and we also called it for our private Discord prior to making the video. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's what we got going on right there. Hold on. MRM. Slight curl off that descending wedge right there. We'll see what happens with it, but it really needs to work to break that above the VWAP. So slight curl off the pennant. Really needs to. Can it break the VWAP? We shall see, but right now, we'll see what goes on there. ELBM just came in. ELBM. Let's take a look at ELBM. Okay, price spike on presumably low volume, right? Yep, low volume. Float is 18 million. Volume is 947,000. So has a price spike on some low volume. ELBM.
US 30 million financing fully subscribed. That's the news.
Oh, all right. So show me that news, DBL Moms. ELBM price spike off low volume. Price spike off the low volume. So you got that going on right there. Look for the news. Bring me the news. The news. ELBM has a 30 million financing fully subscribed. So that's Electra US. $30 million. Financing fully subscribed. So you got that going on there. Looks like this is a Canadian. It says here Toronto, so it has to be Canadian, I think. So scroll up. It's from Canada. Shout out to the Canadians. Z Sevier says INVZ. All right, let's take a look at INVZ. Let's take a look. All right, so INVZ, very choppy over here. So it's got a bit of barcoding going on, a lot of barcoding. So it has a lot of consolidation going on over here. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can get you something going on over here. All right, so has a bit of consolidation, little consolidation. All right, let me see here. Let's see if I can get like a lot of consolidation. Oh, wait, nope, not that one. Nope. All right, I'm gonna just use this. Give me 1 second. Bop, right over here. Has a bit of consolidation going on. A lot of consolidation. Not a lot of volume either. So you got, I'm going to make one side green over here. Make another side red over here. All right. And then I'm going to make this one red over here. So this is really what you got. You got support and resistance around here. It has a big old channel going between $1.68 and $1.75. A lot of consolidation here. Very barcoded. Needs some serious volume for it to be so much maxi to mya. It is above the VWAP. I will give it that. But other than that, I can't really give it much else. It needs some serious volume for it to be so much maxi. Let's take a look at the floating volume for this stock, actually. Let's take a look at the floating volume here. So let's see. INVZ. Needs some serious volume to become so much schmexy to mya. Yes, needs volume. Yes, but INVZ currently very, very choppy. Barcoding. Let me see if it's got any news on it. All right, so the float is 194 million, so very, very heavy in terms of float. Volume is 175,000, so that is extremely low. So the volume is extremely low, float is extremely high. Let's see if it's got any news. Does it have any news? Let me see if it's got news. Let me see if it's got news. Last bit of news was the 22nd. So it doesn't have much in terms of the news department. Very high float, very low volume, not very schmexy to mya, but it has to break through that 175 for it to be somewhat schmexy. Maybe, and even then, it needs some serious volume. But we shall see what happens there. We shall see. We shall see. So, very choppy on INVZ. So, let's take a look at WAI. WAI. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. Bop right there. WAI curling a bit off that pennant. So, we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. WAI. WAI needs to break. Actually, needs to break VWAP. Curling off the pennant, excuse me, not descending wedge, pennant. Curling off the pennant right there, because that's a pennant. That's not a descending wedge. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Someone else asked for GRRR. All right, let's look at GRRR. GRRR. Let's see what GRRR's got going on. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1900. 1900. Come on now. All right, GRR not cooperating with me right now. Come on. There we go. All right, finally. Okay, GRR currently curling a bit off that descending wedge right there. So we got that going on. GRRR. There we go. GRRR curling off the descending wedge. Yesh, broke it above that descending wedge, so we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on, curling nicely. Let's see where it goes. It's leaning a bit towards being overbought. Not there yet, but it is leaning a bit towards being there. It was at one point overbought in the RSI, but now it's not overbought or oversold in the RSI, but right now it's kind of leaning towards being overbought. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. BIAF, BIAF. Let's see what goes on with BIAF. Has another consolidation going on. It curled a bit, curled a little bit, right? Curled up here all the way to this top area. Actually, at one point broke the resistance, but then proceeded to consolidate its way around again. So we got that going on right there. Let's take a look at this right over. Yeah. Has another pennant that it needs to break. So it needs to break the pennant. Currently consolidating above the VWAP right now. Consolidated above the VWAP. BIAF. Consolidated above the VWAP. Needs to break the pennant. Yesh. So we'll see what goes on with BIAF. But it did have a shot upward. I will give it that. All right.
2,000.
Give me 2,000. Let's get that share party going. Let's get to 2,000. 2,000.
Share it up, share it up.
Yesh, yesh, yesh. All right.
Come on now, share it.
ELBM. Let's take a look at ELBM. How's ELBM doing? Still on the uptrend. Still remaining friends with the trend right now. So we got that going on right there. ELBM. The volume is moving up a little bit. Again, still the float is much higher than the volume. Volume is 5 million. Float is 18 million. So it's still got a ways to go, but it is still moving up. Still needs to remain friends with the trend. So ELBM needs to remain friends with the trend. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeah, all right. So let's take a look at DFLI. DFLI, while we are keeping an eye on ELBM, DFLI curling off that pennant right there. DFLI bop right there, broke through two resistance lines over here, broke through the 45 and then the 46 cent mark over here. Now is at 47 cents, needs to break through 49 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. But right now, DFLI broke the resistance over here. So we got that going on here. DFLI broke resistance and curled off the pennant. Yesh. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Bop right there. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. So DFLI still got that going on right there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2100. Let's get to 2100. Come on now. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 2100. Come on. All right. Let's see what we got here. What else we got? What else we got? All right. So DFLI. Let's get back to. Let's take a look over here at. Let's take a look over here at ELBM. ELBM, see how that's going. Still on the uptrend, a little bit up, making a bit of a double top right here. Needs to remain friends with the trend, but it is forming a double top over here. So let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, ELBM needs to remain friends with the trend. So let's see what we got here. ELBM needs to remain friends with the trend. Yeesh. That's what we got going on for ELBM. Needs to remain friends with the trend. Up, looks like it's trying to break through that double top. It's trying to break through it, so we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see. Let's actually get some support and resistance lines over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Actually, let me get it all the way back over here. Bop, right there, and bop, right there. All right, so we got support at 98 cents. More support at 111, 122, 129, 136, and 145. Those are all support lines. Needs to break through 160 for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look at NUAI. NUAI needs to break the VWAP right there. NUAI needs to break that VWAP. So NUAI needs to break the VWAP. Yes. Needs to break that VWAP for it to be so much Maxi Tumya. But right now it is consolidated. And yeah, it needs to break that VWAP for it to be so much Maxi Tumya. Let's see about BLMZ. BLMZ. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, excuse me. BLMZ. Bop right there. All right. So currently BLMZ consolidating below the VWAP. Really had this small move over here, and then pretty much just became consolidated underneath the VWAP. Needs to break through that consolidation for it to be so much Maxi to Mya right here. Let's get this over Mya. Bop. All right. So BLMZ. Rob G says GRRR. All right, we'll take a look at that one, Rob. 1 second. Let's see here. BLMZ currently consolidating below VWAP. Needs volume. Need some volume, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2200. 2200. All right, let's see here. GRRR. Rob requested it, so we shall give it to him. Yes. All right, so GRRR still curling off that little pennant right there, off that descending wedge right there.
High day test looks like.
Looks like a high day test. Yeah, definitely. So GRRR has a bit of a high day test going on here. Let me get this actually out of the way. Pop right there. All right. So let me get this support and resistance lines over here. Bop. And bop. Hey, where my support and resistance go? Hold on 1 second. Oh my. All right. Oh, there we go. It is what it is. All right. Let's take a look at this over here. So GRR has support at 1815, 1853, 1883, 1904, 1924, and 1950. So it's got support at the 1950 mark, has to break through 1992 for it to be so much Maxi Tumya. But right now it curled its way on up, and needs to break that 1992 mark for it to be so much Maxi Tumya. So curling off the descending wedge, it needs to break that resistance right there. So let's see what we got going on here. GRRR needs to break the descend. Actually, broke the descending wedge. Excuse me. Broke the descending wedge. Needs to remain friends with the uptrends. There we go. Boom, right there. So, GRR, that's what we got going on for it right now. Currently, though, it is falling a bit down there, so we have to see. Let's zoom in the room here. Needs to break this little thing right over here. All right. Needs to break this little descending wedge. Oh my. CJet testing the VWAP again. So let's see what we got going on. CJet. There we go. All right. CJet testing the VWAP has to break through this pennant right over. Give me a second. CJet needs to break this little pennant. Testing the VWAP though. CJet is testing the VWAP. Needs to break the pennant over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia. So CJET needs to break the VWAP. Testing the pennant here. Yesh. So we got that going on. That is what we got going on right here. All right. So it's testing that VWAP. Testing that VWAP. So we shall see. It's testing. Yesh.
It's a little testy.
A little testy. Very testy. All right. So CJet needs to break that VWAP. Needs to break that VWAP. Needs to break the pennant as well. So let's see what we got going on here. And let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,400. 2,400. Come on now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Yes. Let's get it. All right. MRM. Let's see what they got going on. All right. Just curling a bit more. Looks like it could potentially end up testing the VWAP. Needs to remain friends with that uptrend, though. But yes, MRM moving to try and test the VWAP. Can it curl? Curl. There we go. Yeesh. Can it curl, ladies and gentlemen? We shall see. We shall see if it can curl. Yeesh.
NUAI breaking VWAP.
NUAI breaking the VWAP. Yes, breaking the VWAP. There we go. NUAI. Let's get NUAI. Boom. Right there. All right. NUAI. Let's see here. A little bit of an uptrend breaking through that VWAP a little. There we go. NUAI looks like it's on a slight uptrend breaking that VWAP. Trying to break the consolidation. NUAI trying to break the consolidation and the VWAP. Yes. Curl, baby, curl. Yesh. All right. So that's what's going on with NUAI. Needs to break through. It's holding at 173. Needs to break through the 183 mark as well as the 178 mark, which is where the VWAP is. So, yesh. Needs to keep doing that. Needs to curl. Yesh. We shall see what happens there. All right. In the meantime, let's take a look at GRRR. All right. Currently, though, still has a bit of a red candle going on there, but still technically curling off that descending wedge. So it's got that going on. Needs to hold that curl there. So GRRR needs to curled off the descending up. There we go. See? Descending. Actually, no, you know what? Testing the high. It's testing the high of day right now because that's what it's doing. It's testing the high of day. So we'll see what happens with GRRR. Testing the high of day, though. How high is GRRR right now, DL Moms? Percentage.
Percentage-wise, it's 6%.
All right. Well, it just broke through the high.
Yes, it did.
It did break through that high. So we got that going on right there. GRRR broke the high. Broke the high of day a little bit. All right. So we got that going on right there. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there for GRRR. GRRR, it's still slightly breaking the high a day little by little, little by little. Has that resistance at 1995. Is making a bit of a double top though right here at the 1993 mark over. Yeah. So it has to break through that 1993 and then 1995 for it to be so much maxi to Mya. So we'll see what happens. GRRR, can it curl, baby? Can it curl? Let's see. We shall see. We shall see if GRRR can it. GRRR needs curl. Yes. GRR, curl, baby. Come on now. Curl, baby. Curl. Come on. All right. So let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Let's see. Let's see. MRM. 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 Let's see what they're doing. MRM. Still on the uptrend slightly. Still on a slight uptrend over here. Testing the VWAP a little bit. MRM moving to test the VWAP. So it is trying to do that MRM curling to test that VWAP. Yes. So we got that going on right there. ELBM, ELBM. All right. Let's see here. Bop right there. ELBM formed a bit of a descending wedge over here. A little bit of a descending wedge. All right. Was a bit overbought in the RSI, so now it's formed a descending wedge. Needs to break that descending wedge for it to be so much maxi tumya. So that's what we got going on. Had a bit of a double top and then proceeded to fall its way back down. Needs to break that descending wedge for it to continue to be so much maxi tumya. Fell below the VWAP as well. So ELBM needs to break the descending wedge. Yes. ELBM. ELBM. There we go. Right there. BIYA. Baya. BIYA. Let's see what they got going on right there. BIYA. Price spike on some low volume. Has a 10 million float, which is a little heavy. Volume is 768,000. So you got that going on right there. BIYA. BIYA moving. Another price spike on some low volume. So we'll see what happens with this stonk right here. BIYA price spike on low volume. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,700. 2,700. Come on now. Let's get to 2,700. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. Pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. You're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes. All right. Yes. All right. All right. So, what else we got here? What else we got? Let's see. All right. CJet. Let's see how CJet's doing. CJet. Let's see. CJet is currently still within the pennant. Still within the pennant there. Hold on. Right there. Needs to... Let me push this over here. Bop. Right there. So, CJet needs to break that pennant still. Needs to break the pennant to this day. To this day. Needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA. Yes. For it to be so much maxi to mya. Yes. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,800. 2,800. Come on now. Let's get to 2,800, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Yes. Share it up. Share it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that share party going. Yes. Let's get that share party going. Share it up, baby. All right. So, DFLI. Let's see what DFLI is doing now. DFLI. All right. Formed another descending wedge over here. All right. Had a bit of a double top over here. A little bit of a double top. Bop right there. Bop right there. All right. And needs to break the descending wedge over Mya for it to be so much maxi to Mya. All right. So DFLI needs to break the descending wedge over there. Needs to break the descending wedge right over there. DFLI. Yes. DFLI needs to break the descending wedge.
Less than 5 minutes to the bell.
Yes.
Less than 5 minutes.
Got 5 minutes to the bell. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 3,000. 3,000. Let's get to 3,000. Yes, sir. Let's get to 3,000 right there. Come on now. Let's get that share party going. Let's get to 3,000. Yes, sir. Yes, let's get it. Green Friday. Green.
Green is good.
Green is good. Green is good.
Green starts with a G for good.
Yes, always. All right. Let's see what we also got going on here. Let's take a look at OPEN. 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 OPEN currently has a little bit of a pennant going on over here. Yeah, she has a bit of a pennant going on. It needs to break above that VWAP. It needs to break that pennant for it to be so much mexi to mia. So, OPEN needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be so much mexi to mia, because it is consolidating. It was consolidating along the VWAP. Fell below the VWAP, needs to break that pennant for it to be so much mexi to mia. Otherwise, you know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is. Let's take a look at INTC. INTC, expensive, little expensive in terms of stonks, but someone did ask for INTC, so let's take a look at INTC over mia. Bop, right here. All right. Let's take a look over here. All right. All right, so had a bit of a descending wedge going on over here. Curled its way on up a little bit of a curl, and then had a bit of a little bit of a curl here. Pennant, bop, right there. A to B, B to C, C to D. All right, and then proceeded to create a little bit of a pennant over here. So it needs to break this pennant over here for it to be so much mexi to me, because it was consolidated above the VWAP. Now the 9 EMA and the VWAP are kind of intersecting again, and it needs to really hold above that pennant for it to be so much mexi to me. But INTC needs to hold above the VWAP and the pennant, which it's not doing right now. So it's got that going on right there. Yes, needs to hold above those two things right there. So INTC needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to do that. Needs to do that right there. All right. Yes. All right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. That's what we got going on. All right. So let's get a share party going. Let's get to 3,200. 3,200. Yes, let's get to 3,200. Let's get another share party going. Let's get another share party going. Give me just a second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Woo! All right. Let's get started here. 1 second. Yes. So let's see what we got going on here. INTC, a little bit expensive. Needs to break that pennant for it to be so much mexi to me. Let's take a look at the. Let's take a look over here. GRR. Let's take a look at GRR again. All right. GRR very consolidated. Consolidation needs to break above the high of day. GRR, consolidated. Bell just rang, so we got that going on right there. GRR, consolidated. Can it curl? Let's get that going on right there. Can it curl? Yeesh. There we go. Bop right there. Let's see what we got going on. What else? Oh my, no, GRR. Yeah, GRR. I'm not looking at that. Yeah, no, that's propagating. No. GRR just broke through the high a day. How high is it now, DBO Moms?
Which one?
GRR.
GRRR is currently at 6%.
GRR just broke through the high a day.
And broke through the high of day.
Hit 2020.
It did that and hit,
Broke the high. Yep, broke through the high of day. So that's what they got going on. GRR broke through the high of day. So that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on. We'll see what happens. Little bit of a pullback, but that's it happens. That happens. I mean, it shot up though like a rocket just now.
Yeah.
The
ding ding did that.
The ding ding doom. All right, BIF. Let's see how it's doing. Oh my, looks like it's trying to curl and test that high a day as well.
Let's get that share party going on.
Let's get a share party going. Yeesh. 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 All right. Yeesh. BIF needs to break the high of day and remain friends with the trend. Yeesh. Yeesh. So let's see what we got going on there. Yeesh. All right. So currently it's doing this thing right there. DFLI. Let's see what DFLI is doing. DFLI. Ooh, broke through the high of day as well. DFLI shot up like a rocket just now. Curled off that descending wedge right there. DFLI curled off the descending wedge. Curled off the descending wedge. And broke the high of day. Yeesh. So that's what we got going on there. DFLI broke through that descending wedge and curled up to destroy that high of day.
Is now 5% broke the high
Oh
of day.
my, BIF broke the high of day.
Yes, sir.
Broke the high of day. Oh my. Wait. Keep an eye on it. DBO Moms. Keep an eye on it. Serengeti Specialist. Eyes on it.
Eyes.
Keep
Eyes.
eyes on it. Come on. Hey up.
Eyes.
Faster.
Got the eyes.
Double time.
Yes.
Move it.
105%.
BIF hit a high of 107% just now. BIF new high. BIF new high of 107%. Boom, baby. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeesh. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 3,500. 3,500. Come on now. Let's get the 3,500. Come on.
3,500.
Ooh, come on. Come on now. Yeesh. All right, let's get the 3,500, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the 3,500. Come on. Woo-wee. Come on now. BIF hit a high of 107%. Right there. 108 now. Okay, all right. BIF. Oh, 1 second. BIF hit a new high of 108%. Here we go. Oh my. All right. All right, now BIF is currently, Was a bit overbought in the RSI, so now it's dropping to kind of compensate for that. So now it's kind of consolidating a little bit, but it did have that nice move up there. DFLI testing the high. There we go. DFLI testing that high, ladies and gentlemen. DFLI testing the high of day. Yeesh. DFLI testing the high of day, testing that high of day. Testing.
Very testy.
Yes, very testy. Very, very testy. Very testy today. Very testy today. Very testy today. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got going on here? Let me see. Hold on. Yes. Heavy float on DFLI.
It's a heavy one.
Yes, it's a heavy one.
Some walking with its Nikes.
Yes. All right. Anyway, let's see what else we got. BLMZ. Let's check out BLMZ. BLMZ. All right. BLMZ still needs to break that VWAPA. BLMZ still needs to break the VWAPA. BLMZ needs to break the VWAP to become so much maxi to me. All right. CJET. All right. CJET. Ooh, all right. Has a bit of a double bottom over here, but it did fall down. It looks like it's trying to bounce off that 19-cent support line over there. But again, can it curl? We'll see what happens with CJET. Let's see what we got going on there. CJET needs volume to curl. Yeah, she needs some volume to curl. Curl. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 3,700. 3,700. Come on now. Let's get to 3,700, ladies and gents. Come on now. All right. Okay. Let's get to 3,700. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Let's see. Let me add all right. Come on. All right. So, let's see. GRR. How's it doing? How's GRR going? Oh my, broke through the high of day and then proceeded to go back down a little bit, but it broke through the high of day once again. Broke through that high of day. GRR. There we go. GRR broke the high of day once again. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Once again, broke through that high of day. Needs to hold above $20. Needs to break through 20.57 for it to be so much maxi to me. Yes, let's see what else we got. What else we got here? BIF. All right. BIF currently had that shot up, then proceeded to go back down. So, we'll see what happens with this stock, but it did have a nice shot upward. BIF needs to break the consolidation for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's see what else we got. What else we got over here? All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. So, let's see about let's see how GUTS is doing. GUTS, we haven't seen GUTS in a little bit. GUTS, let's see what they're doing. All right, GUTS currently formed a bit of a pennant, had a double top over here, a little bit of a double top going on, bop, right there, and then proceeded to kind of fall down a little bit more. Not overbought or oversold in the RSI, but it does need to break a pennant right here. GUTS needs to break the pennant for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 3,900. Come on now. GUTS needs to break the pennant, and the VWAPA. Yes. GUTS needs to do all that good stuff. Needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to do that. Come on now. Needs to do that right there. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Let's see here. Oh, give me a second. Just a little stretchy. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's get to 3,900. Let's get a share party going. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. Pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got. OPEN again. OPEN, it has been requested. Again, that stunk is very, very popular. It is moving down, though. Needs to really break that descending wedge and break the VWAP for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. But OPEN needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. Yeesh, right there. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 4,000. 4,000. Come on now. Let's get to 4,000, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 4,000. Let's get it. All right. Let's see what else we got. Someone said CIFR. Let's take a look at CIFR. All right. Let's see here. CIFR on a bit of an uptrend, broke through the VWAP just now, did break through the VWAP, so we got that going on right there, but it was a bit consolidated below the VWAP, so we shall see what happens. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here soon. All right, but before we do that, let me just get this over here. Let me show you this right here. Bop, little bit of a descending wedge, curled its way off that descending wedge. Let's get some support resistance lines, and let's see. All right, so has support at the 1124 mark, needs to break through that 1181 mark, has to hold above 1168 for it to be so much mixed to Mya. Needs to break 1181, 1195, 1211, and 1238. So it has to do all that for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. But right now, CIFR curling. Hold on. Curling above the VWAP off the descending wedge. There we go. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 4,100. 4,100. Come on now. All right. There we go. What else we got here? LAC. Someone wanted me to look at LAC. LAC double top over here. Has a bit of a double top. At this point right over here. Has a bit of a... Had a bit of a shot upward here. Hit a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D. Then after that, made a bit of a pennant over Mya. So it needs to break that pennant for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. All right. LAC. LAC needs to break that pennant and curl off the... And break the VWAP too. And break the VWAP. Yes. For it to be so much Mexi to Mya. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. There we are. So, yes. Let's see what else we got here. AMBR. Someone wants me to look at AMBR. Let's take a look at AMBR. AMBR. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 4,300. 4,300 over here. Yes, give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second, ladies and gents. Hello? There we go. There we go. There we are. All right. Let's see here. AMBR. AMBR. Yeesh. All right. All right. All right. All right. AMBR currently, as of this point, needs to break the VWAP. GRRR slumping a little, Rob G says. Yes, we will take a look at that. AMBR, very low volume, so it needs some movement, needs some volume. AMBR needs volume. Yes, needs a lot of volume because that is a lot of indecisive wicks. All right, Drop G says GRR slumping a little. Let's see what GRR is doing. All right, so GRR had a bit of consolidation, curled its way on up, and then proceeded to start slumping a little bit. Yes, you are right. Has shot up over here and then proceeded to go bring its way back down. Needs to break that descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. GRR needs to break the descending wedge to become schmexy to mya. Yesh, there we go. GRR needs to do that. Needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. What else we got? Let's see here. INTC. INTC. Someone wanted me to take a look at INTC. Let's take a look at INTC. INTC. Okay. So currently with INTC has a bit of a descending wedge here now. Had a shot upward over here and then proceeded to kind of just bring its way back down. Needs to curl up and break that descending wedge. Very, very, very deep descending wedge there. So INTC needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA. Yesh. For it to be so much mexy to mya. Yesh, 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 yesh. All right. Next up is SPAI. SPAI. All right. SPAI. All right. So another descending wedge over here, really, but yeah, SPAI needs to break that VWAP and needs to break that downtrend. It's more of a downtrend than it is anything else, really, in my opinion. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. All right. SPAI needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. Yes. Needs to break those two things right there for it to be so much maxi to mya. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes. So
We're at almost 4,600.
yes. Let's get to 5,000. Let's get to 4,700 and then let's get to 5,000 right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get a share party going. Yes. All right. Let's see. All right. All right. All right. So. All right. So. Last stock of the day. Last stock of the day right now is BIAF. BIAF currently trying to curl its way back up here. Currently curling a little bit. It is still above the VWAP, so we got that going on right there. BIAF. BIAF right there. Yes, sir. All right. Needs to break that high of day and remain friends with the uptrends. Because that's what it needs to do. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh, is it time already? Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me for now. All right. So Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. AQMS, by the way, moving up off of low volume. Yes, but as I was saying, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we got our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, so be sure to check that out. Yes. Yes, be sure to check it out, man. It's only $9.99 for the first 4 days, and then after that, you know, it's pretty good. You get the scanner over here that we got currently. Hold on. You get the scanner that we got over here currently, as well as the newsroom over here, which actually, both of which give you hyperlinks that give you access to all sorts of stonks that you could click on. You could get you get the chart, you get the RSI, you get the float volume, all sorts of good stuff there, as well as news and all sorts of other things like prices up, whether it's moving up, down, or what the percentage is, etc. It gives you all that information and more. All you have to do is click those little hyperlinks there, and then to top it off, you also get the newsroom, which basically gives you access to the news, basically. And you get little hyperlinks to all sorts of cool little articles that you could basically read, as well as the tickers that are affected by the news within said articles, and hyperlinks to those tickers as well, so you could actually check out those tickers, stock, the price, the volume, float, etc. You get all that information at the tip of your fingers. Great research tool. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, there's more. There's a wonderful community as well there. All sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, that's what you got going on there. That's what you got going on there. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on our YouTube channel at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming, we do lots of videos, and we do lots of other cool stuff there as well. All right, we did a video last night on MRM after we called it for our private Discord. We called MRM for our private Discord and then proceeded to basically put up a video of it last night, and it ran up a nice 346% since then. And then we did a video this morning on WAI. Actually called that for our private Discord as well. Then made the video. Video came out today, and of course, it ran up a nice 159%. So you got that going on right there. BIAF called that one, ran up a nice 108%. BLMZ 43%, AMBI 59%, LEXX 32%, GPUS 43%, and NUAI 35%. So you got that going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on so far. So in terms of that, yes, that is pretty good. That is pretty good right there. So yes, you can find us on x.com, aka Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, at Coaching Money. We do lots of live streaming there. We do lots of stock reviews, stock analysis, and we do all sorts of other cool stuff there as well. So be sure to check that out. And of course, you can find us as well on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, you can find us there. We do lots and lots of cool stock reviews there as well. And you can find us on our Twitch, where we do lots of live streaming at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, so you can find us there as well. We do lots of live streaming on Twitch. All right, you can find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Yes. So you got that going on right there. That's what you got going on right there. So you could also find us on, actually that's pretty much it. That's all you can find us on. But yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's pretty much it so far. But ladies and gents, that's what we got going on. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I love you. All right. Love you guys. Thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you guys for supporting us, showing us all that love, all that support. means a lot to us, means the world. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Serengeti specialist, the one, the only. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to, shoot at the cannon and goes wee. Other times she likes to steal my low mean. And then she also calls wonderful stocks like MRM, WAI, BIF, and BLMZ. We call her DBL Moms. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Say goodbye to the people, DBL Moms.
Goodbye to the people, DB Moms.
All right. Much love, everybody. Take care of yourselves and peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.